So we'll start as usual. As Baruch Hashem, we have to thank God that we're here, happy and healthy, and we can hear to do our Torah. And of course, we have to thank you, each one, of you, really doing great things to help not only me and my organization. Okay, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. All right. So today is December 8th and Kislev 7th. We are getting closer to Hanukkah. Everybody knows the miracle that happened in Hanukkah. Major miracle, like many, many other miracles that happened to the Jewish people, because Hashem wants to show us that He is with us, and we really have to wake up and to come closer to Him. And we can see many, many miracles that happened recently with all the things that are going on in Israel, in the Middle East. Just to remind you, there were so many miracles, but one big miracle, when they sent, I think Iran and some other countries, they sent 300 missiles, okay, toward Israel. And there was no damages, maybe minimum damages and minimum casualties. Major miracle, because they said that those missiles had about 60,000 pounds of explosive, which it's unbelievable. Anyway, and Hashem, He keeps in this showing us miracle on a daily basis. We all have to do is to open our eyes. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you something that I wanted to show you during the Torah here, during the lecture, but I'm going to, since we're talking about miracles, it's something mind-boggling that was in the Haftorah of the Shabbat, not the Torah portion, the Haftorah. As you know, every Shabbat we read the Torah portion, and then we have the Haftorah, usually comes from the prophets. So this last Shabbat, there was something so smart and so it's unbelievable that the prophet Hosea, in Hebrew, I don't know, in English it's Hosea or something, Hosea. It's either Hosea or Hosea, something like that. But listen to what he says. Hashem gives us direction what to do in life. So look what he says. It's really mind-boggling. It says, whoever is wise will understand this, and whoever is smart person will know them. For the ways of Hashem are just. The ways of Hashem are just, and there's no tricks over there, okay? The righteous people will walk in them and will never fall, but the sinner will stumble on them. So you see, there is one path, let's say a highway. It's a highway for everybody. For some reason, the wise people will drive it nicely, no problem, but the wicked people will have some problems there, because that's the way people see, that's the way they want to see, and they want to the way they want to understand. Because Hashem is just, Hashem is 100% right. It says in Parashat Zinu, El Emunah ve'en Avel, the God of Emunah, and there is no misunderstanding here. He 100% just and right. Okay, but it's up to us. Okay, so that was a side point regarding to what we have to do with the Torah direction. The Torah gives a direction how to do, what to do on a daily basis. As a matter of fact, from the morning when we wake up till the time we go to sleep. Okay. And it says, it's very clearly that all the ways, all the paths of the Torah, it's all right and just. If people will follow that, that will be the ideal life for every person. It says, Everything is nice and peaceful. Okay, Bezrat Hashem. All right, so after we thanked you, Kadosh Baruch Hu, and we thanked you and the technician, of course, that we have to do it every week. We're going to move on the Jewish history as it's really step by step. Now we spoke about Abraham. He was the founder of monotheism and the Jewish people. He was the first Jew. Then came his son Isaac, and now we start with the Jewish nation when Jacob started the whole thing with the 12th tribe. Okay, but this is unbelievable development that happened with Jacob or Yaakov. You know, he was the first one that really was exiled from the Holy Land. Abraham was born outside the Holy Land, so when he went to Egypt, that doesn't count exile. But Jacob was born in the Holy Land, and now he was forced to leave the Holy Land and to go to the diaspora. You know that the Jewish people, since then, they suffered major problem with the diaspora, to go into the galut, to be exiled. And unfortunately, sometimes, most of the time, because of our deeds. However, you know, I know that when my parents, they are the descendant of the first destruction of the Holy Temple. When the Babylonian came to the Holy Land, Nebuchadnezzar, and they destroyed the Holy Temple, they really exiled all the Jews to Babylon. And since then, we're talking about 25 something years ago, 25,000 years ago. And say my parents, they were born there since this this exile. So when they wanted to come to Israel, it was not easy for them to come either, because they have to go through different countries and different, very hard way to enter the Holy Land. My father, may he rest in peace, and his father, may he rest in peace, they were accused as a Zionist activists. So they had to run away because the government wanted to, of course, kill them. So they have to go from the diaspora to another diaspora to another diaspora to arrive to the Holy Land. So the Jewish people, through the history, really they suffered major time being in the diaspora. Anyway, so Jacob was the first one. He did not want to do it, but he was forced to do that because he ran out from his brother that wanted to kill him. So now he is going to a place that was not so easy and not so comfortable. That's why the Torah said it's something really very, very interesting. Before he went to his mother homeland and his grandfather homeland, Haran, he went to study in a yeshiva for 14 years. So the commentator said, "What, Yaakov Avinu, why do you have to go another 14 years? He was studying with his father, Isaac. His father taught him everything about the Torah. He knew everything about the Torah. So what's the point to go and learn 14 more years?" So they said when he was sitting with his father, he was isolated from the world. It's him and his father. They did not know about any corruptions, any bad things that happen in the world. They lived their life together in the Holy Land. Now that he had to go and to face all the wicked people in the world, all the tricksters and all the whatever, he had to know how to face this kind of people and this kind of situation. That's why when he came to see Laban, he told Rachel that he knows exactly how to handle Laban. It's not that he was very innocent, gullible, Yaakov, that doesn't know what's going on. That was before he went to study in the yeshiva of Shem and Eber. Okay? So now he learned all the tricks, all the politics, all the in and out. Nobody can really take advantage of him. So when he came to meet Laban or Lavan, he knew exactly what's going on. So for example, he knew that he is not a straight and honest man. So when he told him that he wants to marry his daughter Rachel, he had to be very specific that will be no mistake here, okay? Listen, Laban, I want to marry Rachel, your daughter, and the youngest daughter. So don't give me Rachel from the neighborhood or Rachel from some other place. This specific Rachel, because he knew he will play games with him. We know that what happened on the story, but he knew exactly how to handle Laban through the whole about 20 years that he was there with him. So Yaakov Avinu, Jacob, since it says that since he was in his mother's womb, he had problems in his life. Can you imagine? Some rabbi said that he was the man that suffers the most. Even though Hashem blessed him and he said, "Don't worry, I will be with you, everything." However, he suffered the most. Just to give you few major problems that he had, just to let you understand what it means. So first of all, he was fighting with his brother in the womb. That's number one. Then we know that he wanted to, he ran away because Esau wanted to kill him. Then he had all the problem with Laban that took advantage of him and used him. Then we know that he has to almost fight with his brother when he ran away from Laban. Then we know the story of Dinah, that they took his daughter, Shechem and Hamor from the city in Shechem and the reptile, whatever. Then we know the story of Yosef. Yosef was the biggest trouble that he had. And then, all these kind of problems, it's very hard to handle. But Yaakov Avinu went through the whole suffering, and Baruch Hashem, he gave us strong 12 tribes, that they were the descendant, of course, of the Jewish nation. And from the tribe of Judah, as we know, came the kingdom of King David. And from the Levites, we have the highest priest, Aaron Kohen, and all his family. So that was the idea, how to see the picture of the Jewish nation, basically, not only the first, the beginning, but how it's going to start now to show us that we're going to be like a nation, not just only one small family, and be a nation, especially when the Jacob and later on in his family, it says 70 souls went to Egypt, and then we know what happened. We'll get to that later. However, now when we come to Yaakov Avinu, he had to run away, and when he get to the area of the Holy Land, he had a dream. Everybody knows the dream of the ladder that he saw, and it says he saw this ladder getting to heaven, okay, and he saw that angels going up and down. I don't know if I told you that, but the question is, angels are in heaven. They're supposed to come down first and then go up. Why the Torah said angels went up first and then come down? So few things. First thing was that when he is going to leave the Holy Land, there are special angels that escort him in the Holy Land. The job is finished. Now he's going to diaspora, to the exile. A different angel has to come down and take him and escort him to the diaspora. So the angels of the Holy Land are going up. That's it. They finished the job. They're going home. And new angels coming to help him to go to the diaspora. Another answer to angels going up and down, he saw very clearly 3 major exile that's going to happen to the Jewish people. So the first angel that went up, that was the diaspora, the exile of the Babylonian. It was 50 years of the Babylonian. So the angel, he went up, 50 years he was controlling, and then he went down, that he destroyed. Then we have the angel of the Persia. He went up, also for some years and came down, destroyed. And then the angel of Greek went up and came down, was destroyed. And one angel went up and did not go down yet. So he was very scared. And who was this angel? This is Edom. Edom that is controlling the world today. So Hashem told Jacob, don't worry, I will make sure myself, I will take him down soon. Be'ezrat Hashem, when the Mashiach will come, you see the Edom kingdom, kind of, which is the most of the world, will be destroyed. Okay, so that the story of the angel. Now he goes to the Ben Ish Chai said that the word ladder in Hebrew is sulam. Sulam in Hebrew, the numerical value of the word sulam is like mammon. Mammon is money. So he said, when somebody has a lot of money and he feels very high in heaven, he's saying, oh, I have everything, I'm so rich, and nobody can touch me. He said, don't feel this way because the ladder can go upside down. This rich man can be in one day can be poor, as we know from the stock market sometimes. In one day, rich people can be poor. And the poor people can be rich. So nobody is really safe from that point of view. That's why he said, there's something very interesting with that Ben Ish Chai. Ben Ish Chai is a big tzaddik, as I showed you the picture of the Ben Ish Chai many times. I'm sure you know that. He said, in spirituality, the Jews have to look up to the rabbis and to really envy them and to be like them. This is a positive kind of jealousy to be like a big rabbi, to study and to know Torah. However, when it comes to materialism, this is something, if people will think about it, nobody will be upset or depressed or whatever. He said, any person, take yourself as you are, see what you have, and compare yourself to the homeless person. And then you find out that you have everything. You have everything in life. The homeless doesn't have anything, and you have everything. So why to complain? That's remind me when my parents came from Iraq to Israel. We were like 8 people living in one room. Okay, in one room. Then when I moved up, when I grew up and I moved out, I had an apartment of 1.5 bedroom, and I thought this is the biggest house in the world. I was so happy. I thought I'm the richest man. Then when I came to America, I had a house with 3 bedrooms and backyard. I thought at that time, I thought that Trump is a little guy next to me. I was so happy, I felt rich. I didn't know that this house is really small, but to me, it was really big. So that's why Ben Ish Chai said, see what you have, compare yourself to the homeless people that have nothing, and then you see that you should be happy. Okay, that's the idea of the ladder. Now, we move on to Yaakov meeting Laban, and we know that he tricked him. He was willing to work 7 years to marry Rachel. And he tricked him. Rachel was the youngest one between her and Leah. Okay? The Torah said that Rachel was most beautiful, and he wanted to marry her not because of that, but because there was a destiny. However, Laban switched them. He gave him Leah instead of Rachel. Now, in those days, we couldn't see anything in the dark, and that's why he took advantage and he switched them. In the morning, when Jacob saw that this is not Rachel, he came to Laban and said, what did you do? We agreed on Rachel. Why did you give me Leah? Now listen to what he said. And this principle that I told you, it works all the time. It's called measure for measure. Look what he answered him, this wicked man. He said, in our town, we don't give the young one before the old one. Okay? What did he want to tell him here? He said, remember, like at the hint, that you were the young one and you cheated and you wanted to be the old one. Okay? We don't do that here. We, first come the old man, the old guy, which is Esau in your case. In our case is Leah. So we cannot give you Rachel like what you did. Okay? You are the young one and you switch the situation. We don't do that here. Then they had an agreement, Rachel and Leah. This is something that Rachel did. This is something that it's in the Jewish history since then till today. And I'll tell you a story about it in a minute. Rachel did not want Leah to be insulted and be hurt and offended. So she was willing to give up the best man in the world, Yaakov Avinu, as a husband. And she was willing to teach Leah what to say and how to answer Jacob, after the wedding. This way, she will be the right one, the old one to get married first, okay? Now, when Jacob was talking to her, she pretended like she is Rachel. In the morning, when he found out that it's not Rachel, he said, what did you do? Why did you answer me this question when I was asking you? He said, do you remember what you said to your father when he asked you, are you Esau? And you said yes. Well, I did the same thing. They measure for measure. Now listen to what Leah did. It's something really we need to remember. Because she was willing to give up on the best husband in the world for her sister, so she will not get offended. Later on, in the Jewish history, there was a decree on the Jewish people. And all the big, great leaders of the Jewish people, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, Aaron, everybody came to Hashem to pray, Hashem, please remove the decree from the Jewish people. Please have mercy on them. They did wrong. You're right, they did wrong, but please have mercy on them. Hashem did not listen to them. Can you imagine Hashem not listening to Moses? Unbelievable. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, who came to ask mercy for the Jewish people? Rachel. She came to Hashem and said, Hashem, you know what I did for my sister? I gave up a husband and I was willing to let it go. If I could do that, okay, as a person, I expect you as a Hashem to give up on the Jewish people. You know what? Not to give, I mean to have mercy. And the Gemara said, Hashem listened to Rachel. Can you imagine how high level Rachel had? Hashem listened to her and didn't listen to Moshe Rabbeinu, to Abraham. It's unbelievable. So to all the Jewish women, just to let you know, you have such a merit you cannot even imagine, Ezrat Hashem. So that was Rachel. And, for people that are born grew up in Israel, it's very easy to connect to the stories or the thing that happened in the Torah. For instance, it says that Rachel was born in Bethlehem. And when people don't know where's Bethlehem, I mean, okay, it's a name of a city, but people that live there, for instance, I was born and grew up in Israel. Not only that, I lived in Jerusalem, and my army base was in Bethlehem. So every day I used to pass through what do you call it? The grave of Rachel. Okay, twice a day, going to the base and then coming home. So I used to see the grave of Rachel twice a day for about 2 years. Can you imagine? It's unbelievable. And then Hebron, the other city of the Me'arat HaMachpelah, with the patriarch and the matriarch is buried, was not far from there. So when the Torah talks about cities, you can see it, you can feel it. But here in America, so okay, you hear about Jerusalem, beautiful, nice. Did you see the Kotel? No, I just heard, I see pictures. But when you're there, you can see, you really can feel it much more and have connected better with the Torah stories. Okay, we're gonna say a few more things about Jacob and his coping with Laban and then the other problem that he has in his life. But really, we have to remember that Hashem gave him so many promises not to worry. But still, we see that Yaakov Avinu has some concern. And one of the major things that bothered him, we're going to see it in the next week's Torah portion, because he was exiled, he could not fulfill the mitzvah of respecting and honor your parents. And at the same time, Esau, the wicked man, he had the chance because he was there. And he did this mitzvah with a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of respect. And Jacob felt that this, because he didn't do that mitzvah, he is really very, he has disadvantage compared to Esau. That's why when he came next to our portion to meet him, he was very scared. You know, remember, Jacob was a very strong man, not only spiritually, physically. And how do we know that? We see this in the Torah portion, when he came to the well, he removed the stone from the top of the well with one finger. That's Rashi said that. So he was strong. However, he was very, very concerned that because this mitzvah that Esau has, he has advantage on him. We know that nothing bad happened, but just to show you, righteous people, they are very serious about all the mitzvot and the commandment of the Torah. And that's why we have to learn from them. I think I mentioned that a few times. There is a halacha that says every day, we should say to ourselves when our deeds can really be like our fathers. Now, is it possible that our deeds can be like Abraham, like Moses, like King David? I mean, can we be in their level? Well, not exactly, of course, not exactly, but to copy and to try to imitate all the good things that they did in their life. And this way to be better people. So that's why Hashem tell us all this thing that happened in the Torah for us to learn and to have a better life. And when you can see that in everywhere, when you have emunah and bitachon and confidence and security in Hashem, things in life will be much better and easier. But when people are like worried and don't know what to do and they're scared, whatever, tense, whatever, anxiety, it's not good. Why? Because there's some lacking in the emunah and the bitachon. Somebody says like this, let's say anybody that have emunah in God, complete emunah, his level of bitachon, of confidence in Hashem, is not the same thing like the emunah. He believes in Hashem, he believes in the Torah, he does everything right, but when it comes to bitachon, all of a sudden he has some questions and he's not sure, something might happen. But if somebody has 100% bitachon, confidence in Hashem, then guaranteed he has 100% emunah. So 100% emunah doesn't mean 100% confidence, but 100% confidence, it's for sure you have 100% emunah. Think about it. There's a book, I don't know if I told you, I think maybe I mentioned, it's worth it to mention again. He called The Duty of the Hearts. And it's beautiful, very smart, very easy to understand. It tells you how it's called the gate of bitachon. There's many gates, but this one gate, the gate of bitachon, is recommended for everybody to hear it, to read it many times. Now, this is the book. Let's see if you can see it. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. So this is The Duty of the Heart. And it's better, I mean, good to read the whole thing, but the Shara Bitachon, the gate of Bitachon, highly, highly recommended to give you easier life, better life, and happiness. And you know, the Jewish have to be happy all the time because we have Hashem. So what else do we need? Okay, so Bezrat Hashem, we're going to talk to you again, Bili Neder, next Sunday, unless the Mashiach will come. And if the Mashiach will come, of course, we're going to learn Torah from him. Okay, be good, be happy, be healthy, and we'll talk to you again. Any question, please?
Can non-Jews delve into the matter of bitachon and emuna and read the book you mentioned, Duty of the
Well,
Heart?
I see, I cannot tell a non-Jew what to do. However, many, many non-Jews, they read the Torah, they read other books, they read, but we cannot tell them to do so. Because a non-Jew should not learn Torah or keep Shabbat. Yes, okay? But if somebody, a non-Jew, has intention to do conversion, and he is willing to do that, and he shows that he's serious and sincere, and he goes to a rabbi to start the process, then it's something else. Then it's okay. But just like that, we cannot tell non-Jew to study Torah.
So first to go to rabbi and
You have to go to rabbi to tell you your intention that you want to do conversion, and he will tell you exactly what to learn. Of course, no problem.
so it's not recommended for on my own to delve into it.
Right, because the Gemara says that a non-Jew, it's not required from him. He doesn't have to do that. You know, he can be happy and healthy only if he'll do the 7 mitzvot. That's all he has to do, 7 mitzvot. He is not required to do more than that. However, if he wants to do conversion, then he has to study Torah. He has to study how to be a Jew. That's a different story.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. You're welcome. Okay.
The signs that Yaakov gives Rahel before,
Yes.
Before, what were they exactly?
Well, they did not say specific in the Torah. It doesn't say anything about it. The commentary, he was asking her questions. First of all, her name and some other signs that Rachel told Leah to know what to answer, because he was talking to Rachel and she knew exactly what he was kind of looking for. So she gave out different signs, what to say. I believe that the Gemara talks about it and what kind of signs. I mean, remember, signs not exactly with hands and with body signs, because it was dark.
Right.
They couldn't see anything. It was signs like talking. So one of the things was the name, some other question. I can find out specifically what he told her. I'm sure the Zohar talks about it. And I believe things that only Rachel knew how to answer. And
Right.
that's why when he got the answers, he was 100% sure, oh, she knows all the answers, must be Rachel. So some commentary said that maybe Rachel was not far from there and she was answering. So that was one idea. But really, Leah was there and she answered everything that he asked. So
Okay.
I'll try to find maybe more specific a question to see. All right, thank you everybody. So we'll talk to you next week. Bezrat Hashem, Bili Neder. I appreciate that you're here and I wish you all the best. Have a beautiful week.